Hey y'all, so I'm just going to do a really quick tutorial about something I have not seen anyone do on YouTube. If you've seen someone do it, link me to their page because I kind of want to see how they do theirs. But what I'm doing is I kind of mix like two different blushes to create a different color. Because I'm really into like wearing a peach blush now, but I don't have a peach color and I really don't feel like going out to buy one. So what I've been mixing is my Revlon powder blush, and this is in Love That Pink, and you can tell that I've really used a lot of it. Like, there's really not even much in there. And this NYX blush, and this is in 05 Pinky. Here, I'll actually open this one. That one's kind of loose, but that's what this one looks like. It's really like a Barbie pink color. So what I do here is I take an old brush that I don't normally use and open up my blushes. I'm going to take a small piece out of this one. Which is this piece? Come out. I'm just going to kind of set it on a flat surface. Like, you could use a small mirror or you can use your counter. I'm using my makeup table. I'm really sorry if there's like a glare from the camera. But so there's the blush that I just put down. And my camera hates focusing. There we go. So there's the blush that I just put down on the counter. And I'm kind of going to smash it a little bit so it's a powder instead of like a pressed. I was about to say compact, sorry. So I press that into, so it's like a nice powder. And then I'm going to do the same with my dark pink blush. But because this one isn't all broken up like my other one, you can kind of see where I've already started scraping. So I'm just going to do some more scrapes. And you kind of judge how dark do you want it or anything like that. So I'm just scraping a little bit, and I'm just going to dab it right onto the other powder. Now I'm going to do a little bit more. So there you have your two different color blushes. Like, you can kind of see them, like the darker pink's over here, and the lighter pink is over here. And with this brush, I'm just going to use the fluffy end and mix them together. And it's getting like a really nice peachy color. You shouldn't have to do this for long. I'm just trying to make sure that they're all blended. And if it's too dark, add a little bit more light pink. So there's that. It's kind of like a nice, almost orangey, like really nice pink color. So there's that. And I'll actually swatch this for y'all really quick so you can see the difference. So here I'm swatching the really dark pink. That's what it looks like. I wonder if my camera focuses like that. So that's that. Here's the really light pink. You can't hardly see it. It almost blends in with my skin tone. But there's the two next to each other. You can really see the difference there. Can you really see the difference? Let me see. So you can really see the difference in those two colors. And then the loose powder that we just made. You can kind of see how it's more of a peachy tone, kind of. I wish my camera would focus. But it's a little bit more of an orangey. It's not so pink. Like, these two are completely different. These two, it's a little hard to tell with my camera. My camera's... So with those, I usually just scrape mine into, like, this Revlon blush has a little area down here where it gave me a small brush to use and I never used it. I just took it out. But so I've been putting, like, my little makeshift blush in that area and just kind of keeping them separate. Another way to do it is if you have eyeshadows that you don't use, or use Almost Never, or something like that. And they're similar to these two shades. They can make a really nice peach if you don't have a peach eyeshadow, which you could definitely use for blush. I would. But I've only ever tried these two shades because I'm kind of into the peach right now, but I'll definitely be experimenting some more and let y'all know. Another thing that I do this with is my bronzer. And so this is the color bronzer that I use, or that I use as kind of like the base. So this is my mom's bronzer, and she had an extra one, so she let me have it. But it's really dark, and it's more of a yellow toned. For like some is yellow toned. I don't know if everyone knows this, but like there's like two types of skin tones where you can be like yellow toned or red toned, and I'm really red, so this doesn't always work for me. I think it's a little bit too yellow. It looks a little orange on my skin. So I'll go ahead and show you how I make my bronzer. So I'm using the same brush that I was using for my blush, but I've cleaned the end of it. Well, both ends of it, because we're going to be mixing with it too. But I'm using the bronzer. I'm also using the color Shroom from MAC. It's a satin finish. Yeah, satin finish. It's really pretty. It's like a nice, here, let me get it in the light. It's like a nice pale focus. It doesn't want to focus. But it's like a nice pale, like cream color. And it's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. I'm also using this duo from Merle Norman. And it's got like a matte brown and a really matte cream, which is going to help lighten up that color a little bit and add like a more of a brown to it. And the last color that I used just to add a little bit of a gold undertone is, you could either use Woodwinked from MAC, or I use Tempting from MAC. They look like this. They're both really similar. Let me show you. So the one on the top that I haven't used that much is, what are you called? Tempting, and then the bottom is Woodwinked. So they're really kind of similar in color. They both have a gold undertone, and if you have one of your own eyeshadows that have gold undertones, I would use those too. So I'm just going to start scraping, and I'm going to use my bronzer first. And I'm just going to scrape a little bit, not a whole lot. With this, I don't really store it like I do with my blush. I kind of just make whatever I need. And whatever I don't use, I just kind of like throw away. But I kind of use a lot of this, the Shroomed, and scrape a lot of that because it really pales out the color, and it's not as orange. So here's that already. You can see where I put the Shroomed is right here, and then the other bronzer is right there. There you go. Shroom's right there, the other bronzer is right there. And then I'm going to open up my Merle Norman duo and just do a little bit of the matte cream color, because you already have Shroomed in there, and then some of the brown. And now I'm going to add, I'm going to use Tempted just because I've used a lot of Woodwinked. But so I'm just going to scrape a little bit, and so that's just a little right there on the top. I'll just dab that in there. Now this is the exact same concept as my blush. I'm just going to, because it's already all a powder, just going to kind of mix it all together, make it a nice brown, instead of like that orangey yellow. I'm kind of keeping my camera off to the side because there's a glare from the plexiglass that covers my makeup counter, and all these designs underneath that I actually drew, so sorry if, like, that right there bothers me. That little area right there is the only place I messed up on the entire counter, and it's right in the middle. But so here's the bronzer. That's typically how much I use, just a little bit. So I'll swatch these really quick so you can see what they look like. So here is the swatch for my bronzer. It's really dark. It's almost kind of looks like cocoa. Like if you've ever put like baking cocoa on your finger, like that's what it reminds me of. And then here is just the mix. It's not mixed in very well. But, so you can kind of see, like, you can see how this one's much more brown than, like, the orange. Like, if I catch it in the light right there. Like, the brownish and then the orange. You can kind of see, like, the silvery undertones from the cream color. And a little bit of the gold when I, like, reflect it like that. I don't know. I only ever do this because there's no sense in going out and buying a whole other bronzer when I have this one. And might as well use all the shadows that I have and just create my own rather than having to go out and buy it. So that's my way of making my own bronzer. Try it out, tell me what you think, post a video response of you doing it, and if you know anyone else on here, another guru or someone who does it, let me know, because I really want to see how everyone's doing it, and like all the different combinations that people have come up with or anything like that. So I will talk to y'all soon.